Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I thank you for coming back. I really appreciate you being here. Okay, and I also appreciate your comments, your likes, and your subscription also on my channel. I really appreciate each and everything you do, your comment, your like, your subscribing, your talking about the channel, your sharing the channel, guys. Thank you so much. As you may have seen also on the subject, the topic for today, we're talking about my mental issues. And we're also talking about why have I not rather taken my baby daddies to maintenance court. Okay, let's just get into it. When I was pregnant, I went through a whole lot. I went through a whole lot mentally, emotionally. It just all came to me like a flood. I was lonely. It was a lonely pregnancy. Actually, both my pregnancies were lonely because it starts off nice. The other partner is there, supportive. And then all of a sudden, boom, a person is gone. And I find that with my second pregnancy, I felt like everything is deja vu. I always felt like I've been here before. I have seen that. I have been through that. And I thought I dealt with that, but everything felt deja vu. So when I was dealing with the current loneliness on this now pregnancy, I was also reminded of the pregnancy that I had 14 years ago. It triggered a lot, guys. Even in just my life, a whole lot was happening. I was pregnant and about to move in a new apartment that I just bought. This apartment that I bought, guys, by the way, that I'm staying in right now, I bought in 2021, and in I moved in here in December. There's not so much that I've managed to do, but we're not talking about that today. I'll get to that on a vlog or something else. I went through a lot during my pregnancy. Sometimes I wonder in my mind and ask myself, how did I survive that? How did that not affect my son? I knew that what I was dealing with now was more of the fact that when I went through a lot when I was pregnant with my first child, I did not deal with it. I had a tendency of just throwing things at the back, and I didn't think that these things will catch up with me. Life is like this again. When life gives you an opportunity to learn, and you don't learn from that opportunity, you just find ways to navigate through it, and the next thing you know, you're on the other side and you have not taken any lesson, you've learned nothing from it. It comes back. I think, and I strongly feel like I shouldn't have gone through what I went through now with my second pregnancy, because it felt like I have been here. So I felt like life is teaching me that you can't just overlook things. You can't just throw things at the back and not attend to them, because those issues will still find a way to come back to you. They will locate you. They will find you wherever you are, until you take time to deal with each and everything that you go through. Be there, be involved. When it makes you cry, cry about it. When it needs prayer, pray about it, but face it on. My second baby daddy was not present during my pregnancy. Every gynae visit, I was alone. Each and everything that involved a child during the pregnancy, he was just not available. So going to delivering, I knew that I'm going to be alone. And it's not a new thing for me. I've been alone before raising a child, and it was not nice, and it's not something that I'd want to repeat. So already my anxiety was on peak. I was also still going through my own things. I was studying. In actual fact, when I delivered on the 26th of May, on the 19th, I was writing an exam. So even that was adding to a lot of anxiety that I had, and also the fact that the company I work for does not pay you when you're on maternity leave. So I knew that I'm going to 4 months of no pay. So already all these things are building up, and I know delivering a child needs a lot of money. When you having a child, you need a lot of money, and I'm not a person who's got family around. As you may have known, during the previous videos, I did mention that I stay in Johannesburg. I'm originally from KZN, so the little of family that I have is back in KZN. So here I had no help. I thought about bringing my grandmother here to help me during the time, maybe for a month after delivering. But when I really sat down and thought about it, it was during winter. And I knew that a person who's never been exposed to Johannesburg's cold winter can't just rock up in winter here. My granny is towards 80 now, so I can't. I knew that it's not gonna be fair to bring my grandmother here during this time. I just had to stick it out. The house, it's me and my daughter. I kept wondering, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do this? Even when my colleagues at work were asking me, so do you have a person that's gonna, a kind of a person who I don't like bothering people much about me, making people go out of their way to save me or to make my life easier. It's not easy. It doesn't come easy for me. Even to ask for help, it's sometimes a lot. But then with growing, I have learned that, when I want help and I can't do it by myself, cry out. Somebody out there may be willing to help. And if no one is willing to help, then that's it, So I remember also in Feb last year, my previous car broke down. I tried to fix it. When you have been pregnant, dealing with the smallest issue is a lot. Can you imagine now when you have to deal with an absent baby daddy, gynecologist here and then, what appointment, you still working, your car is broken down, you have a teenage child that's going through a whole lot of changes that needs you to be there. Everything needs your presence. And at the time, guys, I don't want to lie to you. If it was up to me, I was going to lock myself in a certain room, grow this child that's growing in my tummy, and just be there. And that's the only thing I wanted to do. But unfortunately, life did not serve me like that. I had to be available to each and everything. And the more I tried to avail myself to all these things, the more I lost me. Each and every day, I saw myself sinking into more and more and more and more pain and more tears and more anxiety. It was a lot. It was a lot for me. Some of the things when I tell now as a story may not sound as deep as it was for me when I was going through them. And maybe also because that I'm no longer crying about them right now, they may not come across as what they actually were when I was going through them. But I can tell you now that it's only God that enabled me to survive that. I don't wish it upon even my worst enemy to go through pregnancy and alone. and go through all those changes in your life and all those challenges alone and not have anyone to say, Zanele, I understand what you're going through. Little did I know that when I deliver my baby, I will now start having postpartum depression. So now I had the anxiety that was on peak, and on top of that, I had to deal with postpartum depression. After I gave birth, in actual fact, I gave birth on C-section. I needed help. And unfortunately, I did not have any help. I had to make it work by myself. It was hard. Each and every morning I woke up, I did not want to do anything. I did not want to be involved in anything. In actual fact, I wished I could run away. But I did not have that option. So with each and everything that was happening, I had to make it work. I had to find strength to deal and go through each and every day. I remember one day waking up and say, you know what, God, I'm just going to take it day by day. I'm just going to wake up and purpose it in my mind that I'm going to be a great mother. I'm going to go through this day and I'm going to love my kids. I wanted nothing to do with being a mother when I gave birth. I wanted nothing to do with being a mother because also there was guilt with me of how did I allow this to happen again, because I feel like I've been here. So I was actually angry at me, and I felt like everyone needs a piece of my story. Everyone is asking me, where are you? What's happening? I did not want to answer any question. All I wanted to do was to be in my little corner and be alive. Because I knew at the end of the day, I'm responsible for all these little human beings that are here. But then how do you give life when you have no life yourself? I felt like I was dying. I felt like I'm locked in a corner somewhere and no one understands what I'm going through. Again, guys, if you know of any way of, if you know how easily accessible is mental health help, please do comment on the comment section. Please do share some information, because I feel like I'll forever be the advocate of mental health issues until a government does something, because it has to be easy to find help, guys. We can't have people killing themselves left, right, and center when all they needed was to just talk and be heard. I remember when I went through my depression, I didn't want anything physical. I wanted someone to listen to me, listen to what I'm going through, and maybe say one line, Zanele, I understand what you're going through. Maybe that would have given me peace, but I could not access any help. I did not know how to go through, and I did not have any money to pay for any therapist. So that's why I feel like there's so much that needs to be done by our government, by whatever solution that is out there, to help people who are going through a lot. Because I believe that we're going through a lot. It may not be the same as me, but I believe that there's so much that people or human beings are going through. Maybe kids, maybe an adult, maybe, but there's so much. People need to talk. I know, because I've dealt with it. I may not be at the end of it. I may not have won the battle yet, but I thank God that the decision I made of living for a day allowed me to be alive today, allowed me to get to a point where I get back to loving being a mother, loving being there for my kids. And also, I remember after praying in January, after I had fasting for a week, I remember I said, this is now the time I feel like God is accepting me back. Because all along when I was going through what I was going through, I felt like even God has rejected me. And also the strangest thing is that I also felt like I deserve it, because this is what anxiety and your depression will make you feel like. It makes you feel like whatever black corner, whatever dark corner you're in, you deserve to be there, and no one is actually coming to help you, or it's your fault and whatnot. I had to learn to forgive myself. I had to learn to deal with issues head on. I had to learn to show up on the things that mattered and the things that needed me to respond. I had to learn to face them and respond. I have not won the battle yet, but I thank God I'm no longer where I was before. I'm just gonna leave it there with my mental issues. Guys, as I keep saying, it's not a won battle. It's a battle that's still going on. But with each and every day that passes by, I'm a better person. So for that, I thank God. Why have I not taken both my baby daddies to maintenance court to make them be responsible about raising their kids? I think for my 14-year-old daughter, it was purely the fact that I wanted nothing. I wanted nothing to be dealing with the baby daddy. I wanted to actually forget him. There was a lot that had happened in that relationship. So you may not understand now when I say I wanted nothing to do with him. It was not because I did not want him to make him account for his child, but emotionally, for the emotional things that I had been through during that relationship, I wanted nothing to do with him. I will get to that maybe one day, why I wanted that, why I chose that way to deal with things. Maybe I'll get to that. But for now, let me just say, I believe that he knows everything that he needs to do when it comes to his child. I don't believe that it's my responsibility to follow him around to make him support his child. Until years went by, and the more time passed, and I realized that there are days that are easy for me and there are days that are difficult. I then learned that he does love his child. He does show up when he wants to, when he feels like, maybe once in donkey years, he does show up for his child. And one thing I later learned was that no, he does love his child. I don't want to hide that. He does love his child. It's just that his love doesn't put food on the table. And I learned that he can make a decision himself of wanting to see. I think that's mostly what I appreciated, seeing him make take the initiative of seeing his own child. That I appreciated. But till today, I'm still dealing with a father who doesn't support his child, who does it once a year or maybe twice a year, and you also don't know what triggers it. I'm still in a process of I don't know how to put this thing, but I'm preparing myself. If I happen to get to a point where I feel like now I can deal with maintenance court, I will go through it. I will do it, because I don't believe that it's my responsibility only to raise these kids. I don't believe that I should be the sole provider to the kids when they both have their daddies. So once I get to that, I hope I will take you guys along when I get to that time where I feel like I'm ready to do it. I think I will take you guys along during that process also. But for now, I'm still here. I'm still trying to deal with myself. Can you imagine when there's so much that I'm doing, there's so much that I'm going through, and then I had to add maintenance court again. My main aim right now is to live. You know what I'm saying? Is to make sure that I wake up every morning and my kids have got food to eat and they've got a shelter. My bills are paid. That's all I'm worried about right now. When I get to that point emotionally, spiritually, and otherwise, I'll definitely go through that route. So guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here. If you managed to watch this video up to here, then you know you for me. And I know I'm for you. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. All your likes, all your shares, and your subscribing really goes to my heart. Please guys, continue supporting me. I really appreciate each and everything you do for this channel. For it to grow, I need you. Umuntu ngabantu. Bye bye.